Hi everyone, it's Marissa from LupusChick, and I have something so exciting to show you today. I know you're gonna love it. I'm here to talk to you about Abridge. It's an amazing app, and it actually helps you stay on top of your health one conversation at a time. I'm going to introduce you to Shiv Rao. He is the CEO and co-founder of Abridge, and he's also a practicing cardiologist, and we're gonna show you an incredible real-time demonstration so you can learn exactly how it can help you. Hi, Shiv. Thanks for being here with us today.
Hi, Marissa. It's so great to be here.
We are really excited. I was blown away the first time you gave me a real-time demonstration of Abridge. So if you don't mind, let's jump right into it and let everyone see it for themselves.
That sounds awesome. I'm going to share my screen and hopefully you can see it.
Yes.
Okay, great. So a little bit of really high-level context. Our mission at Abridge is to help everyone better understand and follow through on their medical conversations. And the way we do that is with this app. And so this is the first screen in the app where you can see there's three icons at the bottom. This is the home screen. The bottom middle, there's the microphone to record. And then in the bottom right, there is all your conversations in one place, whether those conversations happen at a hospital, at a clinic, at home, wherever, your whole story recorded in one place. So if we were going to do a demo, then you as the patient, as the person, you tap on the microphone to open up the recorder, but it's not recording yet because maybe we want to chit chat about the weather or sports or families, but at some point we're going to be comfortable recording and you're going to tap on the record button. And then I might say, Marissa, tell me about how you're feeling. And I heard you have some shortness of breath.
I have. Lately, I've noticed a little difficulty in breathing and also some wheezing, and I'm not quite sure if it's really an asthma thing or just something completely different.
Well, I think it could be related to your asthma, and it's a little bit colder outside lately, and sometimes cold weather can cause asthma flares. So maybe we should get some pulmonary function tests and also a chest x-ray to look into that. And it could also be any number of other things. So I think it might also make sense to get a chest x-ray and make sure that you don't have anything else going on, anything like an infection. And speaking of infections, why don't we do a COVID-19 test and just make sure to rule that out? And you know what? I'm a cardiologist, so I actually think that it might be useful to also get an EKG and an echocardiogram just to make sure those things look okay as well. Does that sound okay to you?
Yeah, that sounds great. I'd really like to figure out what's going on.
Okay, so let's get pulmonary function test, let's get an x-ray, let's get an EKG and an echocardiogram. And one more thing, I think it's worth it for you to start taking your albuterol inhaler again.
Okay. I'm right now I'm on a prescribed steroid inhaler. So should I continue with that?
Yeah, you can. You can.
Great. Thank you.
So that's a conversation. And if you're like most people out there, you probably forget up to 85% of what was said. And that's research out of Dartmouth that suggests that people forget most of what's said. And when we asked our own users of Abridge what they actually remember, they told us they remember the very beginning, like the pleasantries of how you're feeling and like, what about our families? And the very end where it's like, all right, I'll see you in 6 months, but everything in the middle, in one ear, out the other. And it's just human nature to do that. And so this is an attempt to start to really solve that problem. This screen asks you whose health was discussed. So let's say you were recording for a family member. You could tag them. You could record for them and then tag them. So prior to the pandemic, I'd go with my dad to all of his pulmonary appointments and I'd sit in the corner of the room and I'd record for him. And I'd always tag him as the main character at the end, because that means that he got access to that summary as well, which means Abridge could help him remember and follow through on everything from that conversation. And we'll show you how that works. So on this next screen, it says, who'd you speak with? So you have the option of finding probably any doctor or nurse in the country. So since you had this conversation with me, you might type in my name and look to see if you can find me. And then once you find me, you could add me and you could say, oh yeah, this is the place where I saw him at this clinic. And then once you add me, and you've chosen me, you have this option to actually send me a copy of the summary as well. So this is kind of core to our thesis here, is that everybody wins when Abridge was a part of the conversation. And so when you say yes, you're back on the home screen and it says that your conversation's ready for review. So if you tap on this, you get to see what the output looks like. So at the top, there's these title tags that say chest x-ray, EKG, and echocardiogram. And certainly we discuss those as next steps, but I wouldn't put too much stock into those title tags. They're kind of arbitrary. Essentially, it's a way to jog your memory in a couple weeks when you're looking for this conversation, if you have a whole bunch of other recordings. But everything else is where really like a lot of the core value is. So let's say we had recorded a conversation about the weather or sports or our families. If we included that, hopefully our algorithms wouldn't have pulled out those moments from the conversation. Our algorithms are trying to selectively pull out just the medical moments from the conversation, so that when you get home or in a week when you're like, I don't remember what the doctor said, you could open up Abridge and really quickly sort of scroll to the moment that you're really curious about. Maybe you were like, I think he said I'm supposed to get an echo something. You could find that moment and just tap on it.
Radiologist, so I actually think that it might be useful to also get an EKG and an echocardiogram.
Or if you went home and you were like, I think he said that this might be asthma.
Well, I think it could be related to your asthma, and it's a little bit colder outside lately.
So you get the sense that it's a way, above all, it's a way to navigate the audio, because probably none of us want to listen to the whole conversation again, but being able to find that moment where there were those next steps, where there was that really important information or education that you want to listen to for yourselves, but also share with family members. This is where, Abridge can really, really help. You probably also noticed, Marissa, that there's like pink outlines around medications like albuterol, and there's blue outlines around tests like pulmonary function tests, and there's purple around diagnoses like asthma. That's because anytime we do detect those symptoms, diagnoses, procedures, or medications, and over time, maybe other keywords, we put outlines around them. And what that means is that when you open up that drawer at the bottom that says get more insight, we attempt to really explain what those words mean, all that jargon that maybe the clinician didn't have time to unpack in that really quick 10, 15-minute moment meeting. We try to unpack in a little bit more detail, but at a level that could meet any of us, probably, hopefully, where we are. So you can see this is what albuterol, it's used to treat wheezing and shortness of breath. That's the sort of level that we're shooting for. And we're not using Dr. Google. We partnered with the Mayo Clinic. We also pull information from the CDC and the FDA. Our priority really is that it's trustworthy, number one, and then number two, that it's written at the right level that all of us could understand. And you might have noticed too, there's a $ next to albuterol. So if you tap on that, we partnered with GoodRx, and we'll pull a coupon for you and hopefully help you save money the next time you're filling that prescription. You could just open up Abridge and find this coupon. But hopefully that gets you the sense also of like the future direction here. We're really trying to help people better understand their conversations, but we also want to help people, all of us, better follow through. So on this screen, you can see how some of these moments have stars next to them and some don't. So anytime our machine learning, and this is all done in a privacy preserving way. So anytime like the technology detects that there could be a next step that was discussed, like in this case, get pulmonary function tests, or I think you need a chest x-ray, or start albuterol, or a COVID-19 test. Anytime it detects one of those moments anywhere in the conversation, it does a pretty good job of recognizing and starring those moments. And the idea is that you could disagree, but if you filter by the starred moments, you're probably getting the gist of what you're supposed to do next, like something akin to the after visit summary, the patient instructions. And you could share that with any family member who couldn't be there, but it's also so important to us because you can get nudged by Abridge in the future. You can open it up, but over time, over the coming weeks, we want to actually kind of call attention to those important moments and keep them top of mind for you. So I should say that I think we did a really good job, or our technology did a really good job with this transcription, but it's going to miss words from time to time. There's no question about it, because there's so many factors here, like voice and loudness and the name of the medication. But what we think is that privacy is paramount. So there's no humans listening to this stuff. And so it's all technology. And we think that we'll probably forgive those errors given that it's all about privacy first. But if there is an error and you are motivated to fix it, all you have to do is actually hit the pencil and you can fix that, and we'll reprocess that text. And if we detect a medical term, we'll do the whole thing again. We'll outline it and try to help you better understand it. One last thing, because I think I'm sucking the air out of this demo now. But back on this home screen, you can see how there's a yellow card at the bottom. And if you open it up, it's a quick tutorial on what Abridge is about, but it's really as easy as what we just went through. You just got to hit the record button. But you might close the app and forget about Abridge. Maybe your next doctor appointment is in like 3 months or a month. What Abridge is going to do increasingly over the coming weeks and months is that we can key in already on those important next step moments. And so we'll start to nudge you. We'll start to try and remind you. Maybe we'll send you a notification in a week that says, hey, Marissa, we want to remind you about a key moment where a medication was changed or started. And then when you come back into the app, we'll actually help you re-listen to that moment. And hopefully we'll help keep it top of mind and increasingly over the coming year, help you really follow through. And at the end of the day, we want to help people be the healthiest versions of themselves.
Wow, thank you so much. I absolutely love the technology here. I do have some questions for you. Since, especially like in the autoimmune community, we deal with brain fog. So I know you talked about these different sort of nudges and notifications over months or a year. But if I'm supposed to have, say, pulmonary function tests or an EKG, but in 2 or 3 days, I just completely forget about one of those, will it send me a reminder that I need to start making those steps to get that done?
Well, we definitely have the capability to do that. And we'd love to work with the community to figure out what's the right kind of cadence, like when's the right time to remind people about that important next step and bring it top of mind. So what the technology can do already is it's star those moments, whether those moments were new medications, but also to your point, maybe it was a test, a pulmonary function test, or a follow-up with a new specialist. And given that we can recognize it, I think what we would love to sort of partner with the entire community on is what's the best way to help people follow through on all of that stuff? Is it the same for medications or tests or follow-up appointments, or should we approach them differently? Should we tell people about their medications every day? And but I think, like, to answer your question, absolutely, we can do it.
That's amazing. And then how do you feel as far as other physicians and, you know, them being okay with recording during the actual visit?
Yeah, and I'm a cardiologist, so I can speak from my own perspective, but also from the perspective of clinicians out there that we've heard from. From my perspective, I started to notice patients recording my conversations with them years ago. And I think when a patient mentions that they want to record, it actually is an opportunity to build trust with them, because it's like, okay, great, but you can negotiate, you can decide, like, how about we not record this first part where I really want to talk about, you know, the NFL games this last Sunday. And you can decide maybe to record just the last couple minutes of the conversation where you might, as a clinician, tell your patient about what you really want them to do next, what the real key next steps are that you want them to remember, and also want them to share with their family members when they ask, what did the doctor say? So I think that latter sort of story is the story that resonates with everyone across, like, the whole doctor, nurse, care provider spectrum, which is that there is a part of every conversation that is undeniably so important for people to remember and to capture. And so making sure that people know that that is something that they can do, that they can talk about their clinicians with and sort of negotiate through, is really important. Personally, I'm fine with everybody recording everything, probably for the most part, but some clinicians might be more comfortable with just recording the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Right. Well, it is amazing technology. I've never seen anything like it. I feel like everyone in our community and just the chronic illness community in general could definitely use this. So let us know how they can find Abridge and how they can get it on their phone.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go in the app stores, and just look up Abridge, you'll see it. It'll probably be the first one that you see. And you simply download it. It's a free app. The mission is to help people better understand and follow through. And once you download it, you can start to use it, and hopefully it'll help people better understand and also follow through, maybe save money over time with those coupons. And so, yeah, it's easy to get started. There's no barrier to entry, and there's no cost.
That's amazing. I love that you partnered with the pharmacy and the Good RX, because medication costs are another huge issue in the chronic illness community. So thank you so much for that. Is there anything else you want to add?
Oh, thank you so much, Marissa. And it's a privilege to be speaking with you today. And I'm super excited about our partnership and hopefully our partnership with the broader community.
Absolutely. Well, Lupus Chicks, we all thank you, Shiv, for showing us that demonstration. It's amazing. Go check out the Abridge app. I know you're going to love it. And yeah, if you have any questions, is there a website that they can also check out?
Absolutely. Abridge.com.
Perfect. All right. Well, there you have it, everyone. If you do use Abridge right now, let us know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your testimony and your stories about it. And again, thank you so much. It was wonderful speaking with you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right, take care.